Hey ladies and gents, welcome to part 3 of underrated Netflix recommendations. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks to all who have already. I also have a new mic as well, so now I can sound just as good as Morgan Freeman. Yeah, boy! So this one is another Edward Zwick movie, the first one I mentioned in part 1, which was The Last Samurai. So he seems to evidently have this catalogue of hidden gems, Blood Diamond being another example. So the movie I highly recommend is Defiance, starring Daniel Craig, Liev Schreiber and Toby Bell, which was out in 2008. So the film is set during World War II and centres on the Bielski brothers, played by Daniel Craig and Liev Schreiber, who lead and protect a group of escapee Jews that are hiding out in the Naliboki forest, which is located in Belarus. I could not believe how long it took me to notice this film. It is a proper little hidden gem. Daniel Craig and Liev Schreiber essentially carry the film, and you truly get behind them and feel the struggle and situation they're in with the surviving Jews. Both their performances help to maintain the believability of the situation, and it truly feels like you're right there with them for the entire runtime. So this movie has some great drama, great tension and action scenes that genuinely get your adrenaline pumping as you cheer on the Jews with their fight against the hostile German forces. Really thrilling stuff. It's also about the details in this film I like so much. For example, how you see this development of a forest essentially get turned into a little village community, and then them also having to root around for like food and weapons. It's interesting seeing how they basically have to build as best a life for themselves as possible in this primitive and hostile environment, and you get to see a gradual development of this place. Like I said, you're just completely rooting for them the whole time. So yeah, seriously guys, give this a go. I suspect with The Dark Knight and Iron Man being out the same year as this, that had to have been a contributing factor as to why it went a bit under the radar. But gladly Netflix has brought it to our ears and our eyes. Do not miss it.
We may be hunted like animals, but we will not become animals.
So next up is a DreamWorks animated feature. It was released in 2010 and is personally one of my favourite underrated animated feature films of all time. The movie I talk of is Megamind. So Megamind is about this alien supervillain who, after destroying his foe, feels completely useless and undervalued, so he decides to create his own superhero to serve as his new enemy. With the oversaturation too of superhero movies, this actually felt like a breath of fresh air and just felt completely different and unconventional. In the meantime, Megamind meets a human character named Roxanne, and the story switches back and forth between the two. I don't want to give away too much plot wise, but just know it is one hell of a charming, hilarious, fast paced and heartfelt animated feature. With fun characters, a compelling story and beautifully animated. How this slipped past so many people I'll never know. If I was to pinpoint one other animated movie that this would closely resemble, it would probably be Despicable Me. Both films are similar theme wise, but at the same time completely different. Has a lot of talent too behind the voices of the characters, for example Will Ferrell, Tina Fey, Jonah Hill, David Cross, Brad Pitt, J.K. Simmons and Ben Stiller. So as far as how much money it made at the box office, it was a success at 320 odd million worldwide, but that actually ranked quite low as far as a DreamWorks animation is concerned, behind ones like Shrek and How to Train Your Dragon for example. Yeah, just reception and popularity wise, it doesn't seem to be up there with those films. But hey, this is what I'm here to do, is to recommend underrated features, and this I consider to be one of the biggest in the world of animation. Give this a shot if you haven't already, you won't be disappointed.
They came to our world together, but they were destined.
Our baby can fly.
Yes, nothing but the best for you, darling.
So this recommendation is based on a Stephen King book of the same name. This film is written and directed by Mike Flanagan and is a Netflix exclusive. It is Gerald's Game. So brought to us from the man behind Haunting of Hill House, Doctor Sleep, Annabelle Creation and Ouija Origin of Evil, starring Carla Gugino and Bruce Greenwood. It is a psychological horror movie that mostly takes place at this lake house where this couple attempt to spice up their sex life, but yeah, things don't pan out the way they expect them to. Now anything I say regarding the plot would most probably be considered a spoiler, so I'll keep it as brief as possible. It's just the kind of movie you need to experience for yourself, and let me tell you what an experience it is. It is packed with suspense, mystery, and is pretty damn savage in parts too. And I think probably Carla Gugino's greatest ever performance. This movie takes the story in all sorts of places you all not expect, and it's pretty fascinating stuff. There's also a scene involving glass, which Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. What I loved, and what I think you will too, is just how unpredictable it is. You think the film is one thing and then it turns into something else. In the respect of horror too, it's pretty damn scary. Maybe not so much on surface level, but when you think about what the human mind is capable of conjuring up and just how mentally you'd be able to cope in situations of being kind of trapped and helpless, it's very anxiety driven. So as the film progresses, you learn more about the characters and gradually learn more about what the movie is actually trying to say and what it's actually all about. It really keeps you guessing, and it's only at a certain point during the film where its main themes begin to surface. But yeah, I'll leave it there before I give away too much. But yeah, this movie is a very unique and satisfying experience, with an awesome lead performance from Carla Gugino. Don't let this one get away from you, it is damn good.
If you don't wake up, you're gonna die.